Hi folks, John Turner here, and this is the city of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. I came to this area because I heard it was a very beautiful little seaside place to go on vacation. And so far, I'd say that this city is living up to my expectations. There's a nice boardwalk way down there, and the town itself is very lovely. It's small, and it's not very busy. See, all the way from that gazebo where I'm standing here, the beach is down that way. And en route, there are some really beautiful areas alongside this little road. Charming little shops here. This is very much the definition of a summer resort. But a family-friendly, or should I say, much more reserved one than, say, Disney or anything like that. In some ways, this almost reminds me of some parts of Martha's Vineyard. Particularly the Oak Bluffs section, which I haven't been to in a while, but I have fond memories of. A restaurant named after Robin Hood. How amusing. And that's the bus that you need to ride in order to get there. Of course, you have to catch it from the Lewis Transit Center. Oh, I crossed through this last night when I was exploring. It's a different kind of mall. The stores are outside, and they're very much old-fashioned stores. There's nothing wrong with that. I am a sucker for stuff like this. And here's the bus stop. This is where I got off yesterday when I got here. And to my surprise, the boardwalk is actually not too far away from right over there. And there's more lovely little shops right here, including a pizzeria, if you guys like that stuff. Not to mention another ice cream area. A dolphin statue. I do like dolphins, don't you? And this is just behind the bus station. And the boardwalk is just right up ahead. Oh, and there's also a Veterans Memorial right behind the bus stop. I guess I never really picked up on it. And see, as I told you, just right behind me is the boardwalk itself. The beach is just up ahead, too. And there's a lot of people here, not to mention seagulls. Who can blame anybody? This is one of those days, windy though it may be. Hello. There seems to be some kind of ferry or something out in the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Now here's what the boardwalk looks like from this angle. And if we tilt around right here, we can see the whole town of Rehoboth Beach. And it extends all the way down there. Now, I have to confess, I've mostly been to Wildwood Boardwalk for most of my life, and last year, as you probably might have seen, I went to Maryland for the first time. But this is my first time ever being here in Rehoboth Beach, and I gotta say that of the boardwalks right here, this is probably one of the smallest ever, and that's not a bad thing in any way. Sometimes it is nice to visit some place that is less hectic and crazy. Oh, as a side note, I did go to Santa Cruz at least 2 times, but that was a long time ago. I imagine it's changed quite a bit since then. But enough about that. Let's get back to Rehoboth Beach. On this quiet little section away from the boardwalk and the beach, there are some lovely little shops right here. Not a whole lot, but it's still lovely. And right over here at this Blue Moon restaurant and bar, I see a lot of flags right here, which represent LGBTQs. And as somebody who supports them, even though I'm not LGBTQ myself, I approve wholeheartedly. And here's another building which once again earns Rehoboth Beach my respect. And this is currently where I am going right now. Right over here is the Boardwalk Plaza Hotel. And just down this area is Opie's by the Sea. I had a great dinner right there. Salmon and even chicken tenders. A bit much for a meal, but I was pretty much starving that day. And I have a personal confession to make. When I was a kid, I was a frequent visitor to the beach, particularly when we used to vacation in St. Croix and Martha's Vineyard, and sometimes in St. John. But I went through something of a resistance phase, and stupidly, it was on account of something that I did. You see, when I think I was roughly around 10 years old, or whatever, I foolishly disregarded my parents' warnings to put on sunscreen, and as a result, I got a really, really bad sunburn on my back. And I was so upset about that I swore that I never wanted to do the beach again. Oh, and I gave my parents a pretty hard time about it whenever they wanted to go. I never did. And I refused to do so for quite some time. But you know, sometimes people can grow out of phases like that and have a change of heart. I kind of regret that it took me this long to do so, but it actually feels nice for a change. I haven't been down to a beach like this, much less settled down for about an hour or two. So this is my first time doing that in a while. And this beach area, as I said, is really nice. See, there's a lot of people here with a lot of colorful umbrellas, and the beach itself looks lovely. And of course, who could ever forget those seagulls? And the waves are actually not too bad either. And right over here from where I am resting, just visiting a little seagull right here. Wondering what this little fellow was doing right here. Bet you he's looking for food or something, or just chilling. Who knows? The waves are starting to get a little bit rough. Oh, look who's coming this way. Did I just step into that water for what seems like the first time in a while? I did. And how did it feel to actually stand in that ocean as the water literally splashes at your heels, and as the next one recedes, you feel the sand melting away from your heels as if you're standing in something unstable. I can't believe I actually did that, but I did. You know, growing up can sometimes be very much a struggle, and you go through a lot of pains in doing so. But sometimes it can have some nice benefits, like rediscovering that which you believed you lost from long ago. And I think on this very day, I might have gotten in touch with what it was that attracted me about going to the beach so much long before I got that really unpleasant streak. Who would have thought? And here's some lovely sand castles right over here. More gulls. And of course, a lot of people enjoying the ocean water. As it should be. There seem to be some clouds coming in, and a flock of more birds, or seagulls. Now, because the boardwalk is so small, there are no tram cars or anything like that along this boardwalk. Not surprisingly so. But the primary attraction to Rehoboth Beach boardwalk is this amusement park. It's called Funland. And what's interesting about this amusement park is that it doesn't stretch out into the ocean. Instead, it does just the opposite. In fact, it's partially set inside this building right here, as you can see. There's a merry-go-round. And of course, there are some contest games. You know, pretty much what you would expect from a boardwalk like this. As well as some other kid-friendly rides, like this cute little water ride here, fire trucks, and airplanes or little spaceships, whatever that is. Racing cars, which goes forwards and backwards. A balloon Ferris wheel. More cars right over here. Not the racing ones, unfortunately. And some swings. A little train set, only this time it's a set of cars and trucks. And a jungle gym multi-floor area, mainly for little kids and not adults. Oh well. If I could turn back the clock years younger, I would gladly do this one, but apparently not. And all of that is just in that indoor building right over here. Well, most of it. There's also an outside region, which is just beyond the walls of the building, as you can see. Oh dear, I definitely would not want to do that. Nor this one. I just don't like these kind of rides. They make me sick. This one might be a little gentler, but again, I'm too old for that. And here's Sea Dragon, classic attraction that you sometimes see at amusement parks. Again, though, I just don't like doing these kind of rides. A basketball shootout right over here. Well, that's all of those rides out there, except, wait, I forgot to mention, there's this paraglider ride. Although it doesn't exactly look like paragliders. Oh, I stand corrected. It's paratrooper. My bad. Here's how the interior of Funland looks when you look at it from this angle. And just over here are some more rides. This one is the Gravitron. Not my kind of ride. Again, I just don't like these ones. But they are popular with the kids, and I'm happy for them. Spinning teacup ride. Oh, that would make me dizzy and nauseous. Perhaps as a kid I could do this one. But as a 43-year-old, nah. I don't know why. And right over in this corner, there's some arcade games. A skee ball area. I do like those. And bumper cars. Now that's my kind of ride. Oh, and right over here, past the bumper cars, is my primary reason for coming here, the Haunted Mansion. This is Rehoboth Beach's only haunted attraction at the moment, except this one is a little bit different from the usual. Instead of going on a track, the cars are on an elevated track. You sort of are carried up above the floor. It's sort of like one of those sky glider thingies, except you're going through a haunted mansion. A very unique approach. Sadly, this attraction is not going to be open until 5 o'clock, so I've got quite a lot of time to kill until then. But I am going to ride it, no questions asked. And there's a lot of really nice, old-fashioned haunted material right here. Is this a scarecrow that I see on here, or somebody who's been hanged? Well, whoever he is, he does look creepy. All it costs is 6 tickets to get in. 6 tickets. And see? Here it is. There's the whole ride over here. Oh, and there's also a place where the Haunted Mansion ride comes right out over here on the 2nd floor, just above the teacups. Now that'll be worth checking out. Fast forward to 5 o'clock, or at least a couple of minutes until. And already long lines are greeting the entrance. to Rehoboth Beach. This is a huge difference from when I got here earlier. The ride really is that popular and all the better for me. Here's what the ride looks like closer up front. And all of this is just 9 minutes before 5.
So would you please get these chains off and stop staring at me? You look as if you've seen ghosts. Oh, well, I guess you have. Look, just because I'm a good guy, it doesn't mean I'm a bad guy, does it? So heed my warning. Don't get caught hanging around. Hanging around.
And here's what the doors to the exit look like. Just as creepy as any of them. And now, as we see right here, more and more people are starting to get on. And look at how many more people are lining up.
Remain behind yellow line for next time. You can accommodate up to 3 bodies per car. Now, move on. The same fate will befall you. I've fallen, and I can't get up.
It'll be time for me to get on my car, maybe. Okay, guys, here we go. Well, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to capture everything, but I'll try. Now we come up over here. This one? Nope. Here instead. It's dark in here, hard to see anything. Hello? Well, at least we're going to get someone. Spider. Whoa! Whoa! Okay, now this is actually one of my favorite parts of the ride. All those hovering skulls. How did they do it?
I'm here to talk to you about accommodations for later. Crackling fires and warm yourself while I'm on cold, excellent and personal detention. adventure is yours.
That's it for the Haunted Mansion ride. So what did I think of that ride? Well, I personally think Maryland has the more inventive and, of course, longer Haunted Mansion. But this one is no slouch at all. Rehoboth Beach is obviously not Maryland, but that doesn't mean that this one doesn't have any flashes of creativity. The animatronics are really a nice touch. The only criticism I have is that it's probably a little bit too dark, but on the other hand, you definitely don't want to have a haunted house be too light, because that'll take away the point of, getting scares. So yeah, Rehoboth Beach is probably a more smaller scale compared to the likes of Maryland, but it's also very welcoming and it's very inviting, and I would gladly come back here again. And yeah, I'd say that this place is a good place to visit. So thanks for watching this, everybody, and I'll see you next time.